I'm trying to think. Is that the dumbest way that people have made money so far?
Oh, that's a great
I was
question.
thinking, I was trying to think of something to say like, well, at least it's not that, but like, I don't think there is any that. I think that might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
It's a strong contender for sure. I'm trying to think, is there anything obviously dumber?
Definitely not, obviously.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, thinking of something like easy, right? Like OnlyFans shit, but like that makes sense as to why people pay for it.
Yeah.
Sex has always been a viable product.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Anything sexual, yeah.
yeah, I can understand why, like, I personally wouldn't, but I could understand why OnlyFans models make a bunch of money. It's because they're sexy and you can trade sexy for money.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah. Maybe, you know what? Maybe a dumber thing would be gambling streams. Those might be
good
dumber.
segue.
Those might be dumber because the economics of it are just funny for me to think about. So there's a Twitch alternative rival type thing. Basically, Twitch had a problem where there's been a constantly shifting Twitch meta, is what people call it, right? What's the meta game of Twitch? What's the most popular shit that you can do to net the most amount of eyeballs and the most amount of donations? So for a while, it was being a thought, right? It was before OnlyFans was really so popular. It would be girls would just expose the titties, but not the nipples, pretty much. Like, find any excuse to wear as skimpy an outfit as possible and just be titty streamers. That's what people called them. They're like, oh, she's my favorite titty streamer. Like, oh, there's a video game being played in the bottom corner of the screen where you can barely see it, and, you know, 2/3 of the screen are taken up just by her fucking tits pushing up out of her fucking shirt. Like, there was no actual nudity, but it was, like, about as, like, close to nudity as you could get.
Mm.
And then Twitch was like, okay, well, listen, it's supposed to be for video game streaming, but whatever, we're going to add a section for people that just want to talk to their audience or just like fuck around and, you know, look at funny shit or whatever, right? Something that's not game related. And they called it just chatting. And then the problem is a bunch of people went there and said, oh, well, in Twitch's like terms of service or whatever, it says you can't be naked, right? You can't just be like, yeah, you can't just be like fully fucking no clothes on. But if you have clothes that are quote unquote appropriate for the situation that you're in, then it's fine. So if I'm streaming in a pool or in a hot tub or at the beach, then a swimsuit is completely permissible. That's completely reasonable for the area I'm in. So then, you know, rich people, like rich titty streamers that had already built up a following would be like, oh, I'm going to just go chill by my pool and stream from there. And I'm just going to position it. I'm going to position the camera right on the edge of the pool. And then I'm going to prop both my arms up on the side of the pool in my fucking micro bikini and just like pin them up. And that was successful for a while. And then a bunch of the smaller, you know, I can't afford a fucking house with a pool streamers wanted to get into it. So they would clean out their room and have their stream set up pointed at a kiddie pool filled with water just in their house. So you're watching a stream that is technically like, oh, well, she's swimming? Where she's just like in a swimsuit, like sitting in a kiddie pool in her living room. But then Twitch has to crack down on that, right? Twitch has to be like, all right, listen, we can't do that. We can't. This is getting out of hand. So then they say, fuck it, give them their own section of Twitch and, you know, just have that be what runs wild there and don't let it infect the other parts. So they did that, and then everyone kind of was like, whatever. One of the newer ones was people gambling. So there were Twitch streamers that have obscene amounts of money that just say, fuck it, I'm just going to hit online casinos and stream it the whole time. And people got very into it for some reason. I don't know why. I've never really been a fan of any of that kind of stuff, like just watching people gamble. I don't know. I'm not a big gambling guy generally, though. Even when I gamble in real life, I don't really like it.
Yeah, I don't think I ever have.
I've played like very small stakes. Like, you know, I'll play like a game of poker with some people and it'll be like, oh, everyone drop $20 or whatever. But like, I'm not I'm not the kind of person that's like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah, I guess
hell
that
yeah.
does.
I'm not like, hell yeah, let's all go to the casino or something, right? Or like, you know, I've done
small stakes poker too.
yeah, I've done like fantasy football where there was some amount of money involved, but, you know, it wasn't like, I wasn't betting any, you know, massively problematic amount of money. And, you know, I've never really been into like casinos or anything. But for some people, that's what gets their dick hard. And there was a very brief amount of time where people were like, yeah, Twitch, that's the thing to do, is you go on and hit online slot machines or, you know, whatever, maybe blackjack. I don't know. I wasn't super into it. And then a bunch of people got upset at Twitch and they said, listen, a lot of people on here are kids and you're exposing them to this like adult activity. And, you know, that's kind of irresponsible. And Twitch was like, okay, wait, we are making a lot of money, but this could potentially mean like legal issues, or a bunch of people are, you know, start associating the Twitch brand with that's where you go online to gamble. And Twitch said, well, we don't want that, so we're going to say no more of that.
Right.
Well, a new rival Twitch like alternative called Kick has opened up, and they are completely cool with gambling. And the reason they're completely cool with gambling is I believe it is owned by another company called Stake. 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 And Stake owns a bunch of online casinos.
Okay.
So a company that owns a bunch of online casinos starts their own live streaming service, or at least buys like a significant portion of Kick, and says, yeah, online gambling is completely fine on Kick. It's in fact kind of encouraged. So a bunch of the gambling streamers decide to go over there and do their shit there because, you know, it's completely fine over there. And then it goes as far as Stake, the company that owns Kick, will sponsor the streamers on Kick to go gamble in Stake casinos.
Fucking nuts, man.
So the casino is paying famous people to stream themselves gambling in the online casino in hopes of like getting more people in. And I'm sure it works. It's just a very ridiculous way to make money.
Sure.
Like I'm sure they are making a fucking killing, but like fuck, dude. I think a lot of the streamers have said, like, you know, the most gambling positive streamers tend to be like, oh yeah, well, you know, some of them do have fucking gambling addictions. I think like the most popular one or whatever is like, everyone's like, yeah, this guy just stays up for like 17 hours a day just hitting the slot machine on stream.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's fucking...
People watch it?
Yeah, people watch
Why
it.
is it
People will watch
entertaining?
it. I don't know. See, like,
I
that's
guess when he wins, it's entertaining, but aside from that...
I guess so, right? Like, here's the thing. Like, a slot machine is sort of programmed to be fun.
Right.
Like, a slot machine is just designed to hit the dopamine receptors in your brain with the exact minimum amount you need to keep you playing.
Yeah.
But the only thing that, like, would snap you out of it is like, damn, I'm losing a lot of money. Like... It's basically just a Skinner box that you put money into and sometimes get money out of, but you get dopamine out of it. But the thing that's like stopping like me from doing it, right, is like, I'll be like, I'm losing a lot of money, and the feeling of me losing money, I hate that shit more than I like the dopamine of the roulette, or the slot machine. So I would stop. But if I was watching some other guy lose money on it, I'd be like, oh wow, that sucks for him. But I get the dopamine when he wins, and I also don't lose any money when he loses.
Right.
So that might be why people watch. I don't know. I think it's strange, though. I'm sure there are some people that will donate money as well. Like, I'm sure there are people that will pay to subscribe or donate money to these streamers, although I think the majority of the income they're getting from Kick is from sponsorships. which is also
Yeah.
funny because it's like kind of sketchy, I would say, to have a casino sponsor someone to gamble in their casino. I'm sure that's a fair and accurate representation of what it's like to gamble at a casino when the casino gives you $250,000 or some shit to go just lose. Right? Like that was the thing that happened on YouTube a while ago, was like there was a bunch of gambling shit, like the CS:GO Lotto or the mystery box sponsorships and stuff like that, where it was like, oh, well, these companies will most likely, I'm not trying to fucking say it absolutely because I'm not privy to this information, but it seems highly likely that these gambling streams or gambling sponsorships will weigh the odds for the people that they're sponsoring to win more than the average person would win, to give everyone a skewed perspective of what it's like to sucker them in and get their money.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, I cannot state that as fact because, I haven't crunched any of the numbers or anything, but I have a sneaking suspicion that that's what's going on. Let's call it a hunch. Yeah, let's call it a hunch. I have a hunch that this shit is probably deceptive in some way. No lawsuits. Please and thank you. So yeah, I think that's definitely a sketchy way of making money, but I think the people that are donating to that are really the ones that are getting scammed. Like, you're donating to an advertisement. Isn't that kind of weird?
Yeah.
Like, this guy is here telling me, gamble all your money, lose all of your money, it's okay. The next slot machine pull, you could win big. You're just one pull away from winning $1 million bajillion dollars. And you're sitting there at your computer, clapping your hands like a fucking seal and just throwing money at him. Like, damn, this is real weird. At least with the NPC streams, it was just people doing it because there was a lot of money to be made from the donations, and there was no like weird deceptive aspect to it. There was no like secretly trying to sell you something involved with the first couple like NPC streams. I'm sure someone has put some sort of spin on it that is like that now, but who knows? I don't know. I think it's mostly dead at this point.
Yeah.
Although,
like it for sure.
Yeah, speaking of death and trends on TikTok, I don't know what TikTok thinks I'm into, but I've been getting some very strange recommendations recently.